Oh my god. All right, here we go. Dude, this looks so good. Dude, this town looks gorgeous. I can't wait to explore this. Ships. Stormy ocean. This should have been the Twitter post. What is this? Oh shit, dude, this looks epic. No, 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 no. Oh no, don't be over. No. Dude, it wasn't enough.
Maybe we'll find Darian.
Oh my god, dude. I was like, no, you can't be over yet. Come on. Oh, come on. Is there anything else at the end? Anything else? Come on. Maybe a little more. Just a little tease. Just anything. Ah, it's always 40 freaking seconds long, man. It's never long enough. Okay, well, here we go. Okay, okay. All right. Let's analyze. What do we got here? What do we got here? We got a table with a ship. Do you see any landmarks? I can't make anything out on this. Where's this? What's this landmass? What is this? Huh? Dude, look at that. Look at this banner. Look at this waterfall, man. It just looks gorgeous. There's cascading waterfalls everywhere. In a bay. In a bay. Okay, so we've got a bay. We've got a bay. You think it's Hammerfell? Could be Hammerfell, right? Could be Hammerfell. Wait, where's my... Let's see. If we look at the map. Huh? It could be... Is it like... Is it this bay here? Or this bay here? Maybe? Could be. Maybe. Bay or bay. I mean, take your pick. Take your pick. All three banners on the ships. Do you see all three banners? I don't see banners on them. So are all three factions combining to fight a greater threat? Maybe? Maybe all three factions are combining to fight something bigger? Putting the war aside? Could be. The Malmer? That would be cool. Dude, that would be a pretty epic story. Rather than a world-ending thing, it's still a big enough threat that all three sides have to combine. It's a race to an island. It's just a yacht race. I don't know about that. You thought you saw that tiny boat capsize? Wait, there was a tiny boat? This one? Yeah, what is this EP? Is this supposed to be EP's boat? What the hell is EP doing on this little boat? What are we doing? Why do we get why do we get shafted with this little children's boat here, you know? What's ET? What are they doing to EP? It's a Viking longboat. I know, because they're Nords, but still, we could have had a bigger Viking longboat. EP, blood for the pact, red or dead. Okay, so this dude is watching the ships come in. The defense, the new dude that we don't know, maybe, because he swipes the ships off like he doesn't like them. Right, so is this the new enemy? The new big bad? And then we got more ships out here. They are not doing good. The ships are not doing good. They're getting thrashed. This one, the sails are all ripped up here now. Yeah. Dude, the ships are basically losing to the environment. The ships are losing to the environment. That ship that fell is ours. Man, it does not look like Akaviri. What do you guys think? The mast broke on the EP ship. Oh, dude, it did. It did. We're losing. Dies from environmental damage. They're making VAS. Yeah. Why did Zos pick EP to have the busted ship that's falling apart before even making it to the shore? What is this? And also, who is this guy? Because EP's not bad. Take that, EP bros. Come on. What does it mean, dude? They did mine a gold dragon looking pet. EP went for slaughterfish achievement. And they got it, dude. The Weatherman class? Like, I don't know what this means, you know? It's like he's located somewhere. Is he controlling the weather in any way? I mean, or is he just like, here they come? But he doesn't care, right? Because he's just so BA. Maybe we're going to the Pale Order Island. I'm down. The Elder of the Sea. Definitely red shirts. Yeah. I mean, was Narayu, Roz, and well, Darian's in the void, so he's safe. It's fine, you know. But everybody else is dead.
He's like, because actually, take a look at this
dude,
clip.
Look how he pushed Stan right there. I mean, that was awesome.
Oh, okay. While I was over there, they started something. I was like, "Where's the sound coming from?" Oh man. Well, guys, what do you think? Storm calling is such a Malmer thing, though. You know, that's a good point. Is there any lore about storm calling in ESO or in Elder Scrolls? Is there any lore about storm calling? New PvP zone so they could scrap Cyrodiil? I mean, I think that's something that could one day happen. ESO on mobile? Stop it. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's literally, this is the Canarthi Roos. The Canarthi Roos zone story was about, you know, I haven't done that zone story yet. Maybe I need to do that. The Canarthi Roos is about, wait. It's too bright for Soul Steam. Yeah. So do you think, pause the video where we see the map on the table? Okay. So we see it once here. Right. But let's see if we can get, oops, let me see. See if we can, this landmass. I don't know what this is though. Right. It's pretty zoomed in. It's pretty hard to make out anything. It looks, you know what this looks like? You know what this kind of looks like? Is this, are these boats? Are these boats leaving, leaving Tamriel and heading to somewhere else? Like this is the continent of Tamriel. They're all leaving, heading to an island somewhere. I get a sense in the start that there might have been a fight near the war table. Oh, really? Yeah. You think that looks like it, right? They're leaving, like the three factions are leaving and heading to somewhere. Somerset, Orden, then them leaving to that island over there. Maybe? Yeah, this could be. Yeah. Let's see. New continent? Or at least maybe a new island? Aeternum? Okay, so now we've got a bay. So this is where we're making our way to right now, right? Look at this. Look at how beautiful it looks. Maybe there is a storm caller, man. A waterbender of sorts or something. Who knows? Because, you know, we're making our way here. Everything's fine. City looks a lot like Anvil tech architecture, does it? And then boom, look at that. The weather transforms instantly as they approach. Instantly. It does look a lot like Elven and Khajiit architecture, does it? Three factions sailing to a new isle. Crazy shit, yeah. So the three factions are combining to sail somewhere. Yeah. It's a bay, right? They're sailing into a bay. Yep. Betting Malmer. Yeah. This happens in the Canarthes Roost story against the Sea Elves. Now I'm going to play the Canarthes Roost story, dude. I haven't done it yet. This will be a perfect time to do it now. Between now and the 27th. To learn a little bit about storm calling in case it's related. Yeah. So we have this here. Western Tamriel map. I have it right here. Right here. So here's Western Tamriel, right? So it could be this bay. It could be this bay. This bay. Right, we've got some massive bays right here. It could be one of these areas. We're sailing into attack this, but it almost looks like we're leaving, like we would be leaving Arden and Somerset and heading to this. Or we could be leaving and heading somewhere over here. Leaving Tamriel. Yeah. Maybe a whole new continent. It could be a whole new continent. Yeah. They had a Malmer quest in Somerset as well. Yeah, there was a big Malmer quest line in Somerset. Yeah. Near the Hughesbane area. The ships look like they're sailing north. By the way, they, is it because of the sun? Maybe they're heading up here to the Kraken. There's an island up here, maybe. That'd be cool. I mean, there's definitely room on the map. Akaviri, that'd be cool. Yeah, that'd be cool. So if we go back to it, we then have this guy here, right? Who's obviously what they're sailing towards. They get close to the cove, and he's like, no, I've had enough of their shit, right? And then he turns the weather. He's so powerful. He turns the weather. He's like, no, they're not even gonna land. Yes, it's not gonna be an end of the world story. It's gonna be more political based, it sounds like. And here's the three factions trying to attack and failing miserably. I mean, they don't even land. So he's powerful in some way. That or he got really lucky and they decided to make a video about the day he got really lucky because of the weather, which would be kind of weird. Maybe this. Okay, all right. So we have a map we can look at. What's this? So we're thinking that it might have something to do with this. Ako Kazaz. Like, so maybe we're leaving this area here and heading out here. There are a lot of isles that we know of. Dude, this would be cool, man. It would be so cool to leave Tamriel for a period and see new things, new creatures, new enemies, new everything. Yeah, that would be cool. But which one? So we got Somerset, Arden, Yokuda. This would be a cool place to go. Ravon. Yeah. Yeah. High Rock. Iliag Bay. So we're leaving here. Yeah, the shape of the bay looks like Hammerfell. You're thinking it's this bay right here? Why would all three factions be allied to fight Hammerfell, though? This one here, this cove? Yeah. I mean, this is probably most likely, right? Because we've never left the continent of Tamriel. It seems unlikely that we would. So I think you're more likely to be right if you're expecting this as opposed to something over there. It seems odd to me, though, that all three factions would end up here. A race? But why would it be? I don't think it's a race because they all capsize thanks to the one guy deciding they should, you know, with the stormy weather. Like, what kind of a race would that be? It seems more like an assault. And why would they be flying their political or their faction banners, their faction ships, if it was supposed to be a race instead of some kind of war? What if a new Malmer race is factionless? So this is like a Malmer stronghold or something on Tamriel? I don't think they have one of those. A one ship per faction assault is a really sad assault, though. You know, it could be three ships with the finest soldiers, you know, a tactical assault, you know? Maybe it's the front line, then the pin, the what is that? The point of the assault, you know? Yeah, sending in the best. Who knows, man? Scouting mission? Yeah. Maybe an alliance war is over and they made a peace treaty. Maybe. Fast and Furious, except with boats, it's a race. Yeah. I think 99% it's the Pale Order Island because the armor that the Pale Order wear is similar to that mysterious figure walking with Breton, but fur shoulders. Also, the Pale Order kills Malmor, from what I remember. Really? Interesting. Rich, tell us more right now. Rich. Rich, you tell us more. Or your Malmer or your pirates for hire type thing born outside of factions? I'm not sure. Rich, what does it mean? Whoa. All right, just give us anything, man. I mean, just anything at all. I think it's more of an expedition type ships. All three factions are fighting to claim that area. It looks... I mean, well, but there's definitely a dude there, man. I mean, there's definitely a dude, and he's just chilling. Oh, you're just enjoying all the theories right now. Oh, man. The mysterious male is Darian's evil twin. Yeah, could be. I don't know. Let's see. Wait a second. Rich, just by, like, is there a chance... Rich, that maybe in 2020 for the 2023 chapter, this video could be like 10 minutes long instead of 40 seconds, you know, just, or at least double it, you know, just a little bit longer, you know, just, you know, 40 seconds isn't enough, Rich. This is not enough. Hey, what do you think of NVIDIA DSAA? Dude, the games looked great with the aliasing. Yeah. It's called a teaser for a reason, but what if you called it a movie instead? You know, what if you called it a movie? That's what you asked for? Yeah. It's a lick and a promise. Oh, man. Oh, man, dude. Gorgeous. I love the prospect of a gorgeous area. I love the prospect of heading to some place that's gorgeous, man. This looks like it's going to be fun to explore if we get to spend time here. This looks like it's going to be fun to spend time in. This will be a great city hub. Man. Yeah. Wherever it is, it looks beautiful, right? Got some serious pirate theme vibes from the preview, right? Yeah. Yeah. You loving this? Something, a breath of fresh air, right? Yeah. Is there an achievement for jumping down the huge waterfall? Yeah, Rich. Yeah, is there going to be an achievement for jumping off of this ledge right here? Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's beautiful. You're excited. Yes. Can't wait for the chapter. Seaside equals win. Yeah, dude. It always does. Yeah. Those mountains look like hell for finding lore books and sky shards. But look at the scale of it, man. It could be really, like, if they can nail that scale, oh, it'll be so cool. You'll feel so small. I love when they get scale really worked into games. Could be Yokuda. Okay, we're a little bit closer. We've got another ship, a dock, a couple ships here. Yeah, what did you guys say? What kind of, there's like some farmland over here. Dude, these people live in a nice area. I mean, this is if you're gonna live somewhere in ESO, I mean, this is a nice area to live. Look at these like palm trees on the shore, you know. Yeah, it's looks like agreeable weather when they want it to be. Guy up in the castle here is probably the guy that's wreaking havoc on everything. You're betting at Mora? The best chapters have been islands. Coincidence? I think not. Yeah, exactly. That's some new type of architecture. You'd say mostly Breton and a little Imperial-esque. Reminds you of Italian towns. What about Bretons and it's High Rock? Up to the north? Maybe. I just can't figure out why 3 of the faction ships would sail to that. So one thing that doesn't make sense. Looks like Yokuda. Maybe. Yeah, it was nice until this bunch gets here, but clearly not their doing because they all capsize. That said, 2022 location would surprise us. Yeah. Yeah, they did say the 2022 location would surprise us, right? So if we guess anything here, it's not that surprising. That's a good point. That's a good point. Like if we did this, if this was it, like that's like the antithesis of surprising. That's kind of what we're like, it's probably here because Redguard hasn't been done and it's like open on the map. And they did say, what, Rich is quoted as saying, no, I haven't seen anyone guess right yet. And a lot of people have been guessing that. So the Seski are from Akavir. We did have the Seski hats and outfit added to the game. Going to Akavir would be cool. Yeah. What if it's actually Pyandonia? I mean, that'd be awesome. Yeah. What do you guys think? Where's that one map? Is Pyandonia on the map? Is that on here? I don't see Pyandonia labeled. Pyandonia or Almeris. Yokuda chapter, I hope. Yokuda would be cool, man. Pyandonia south of Somerset. Okay, south of this. Yokuda would be cool. They're sailing out towards something, it looks like, so. Yeah. Maybe south here, or maybe more over here. Honestly, Seiski is also probably the most popular Groundstorm motif, so if people like it, why not double down? Yeah, it could make sense. Account-wide achievements? Account-wide achievements would be nice. I agree, yeah. Yeah. Weather change. The poor EP boat. It's not fair, dude. This guy's had enough of their... Wait, can we make any more detail on this map? Not really. I see like little island, landmass, some ships that he's about to swat. They're coming to him from a larger landmass. It's like... And then here's the boats. This one's capsizing already. You can see the sail tip over. Their sails are all messed up. This dude's just not giving a F. Think we'll get some new islands to explore in ESO? Why would he push it off the table? It did nothing. It did everything. Look at the ships. Dude, he summoned a storm, it looks like. I mean, he just... Yeah. Is there a compass on the map? Good question. Pause on the sword? Let's see. There's a sword. I don't see anything. The EP must be captained by Desh. They brought the wrong boat. Looks DC related. The sword, does it? Hey, what's up, TY James? Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Thank you. There's a sigil on the table. What was the sigil? If we can't place Darian as the Isles King, I'm quitting. I agree. I agree. If Darian's not there, is it even an Elder Scrolls game? What if it's the Fourth Alliance? Maybe. Capes when? I think you wait longer. I don't see anyone here with a cape. Do you see a sigil? You guys see any sigils here? I don't know. I can't make something out. Did accidentally a guy from WoW. Did a guy end up here from WoW? I don't know. It doesn't look like WoW to me. Obviously, the ships carry a 12-man PvP raid group to the islands. And it has Chaos Ball. 12v12v12 coming. Doubtful. I want Rosm in the story arc somewhere. Or wait, maybe, you know, 12v12v12 coming. Maybe, you know, to funnel large-scale PvP out of Cyrodiil. It's an island in the beginning. I'm betting Sea Elves. I'm excited. I hope so. That'd be cool. I mean, no matter where it is, the cool thing is, regardless of whether it's, let's see, where's that map? Regardless of whether it's here, which is like the easy guess, or some island somewhere else, the area looks like it's going to be beautiful. So it's going to be fun to explore no matter whether it's an island that we've never been to or not.
Whoa.
You're hoping Breton DLC, so disappointed, but not surprised. That sigil is saying northeast, southwest. Can't remember what it's called, but if we could make that out, the orientation could prove a clue. Oh, can you guys make it out? Is anybody able to make it out in the video? Thank you, Boogie. Thank you for the prime, man. How's it going? Look for Ansei on ESLR. What's that? Yokuda is destroyed, right? Is it? Looks like landing at Black Harbor. What's Black Harbor? His sword has an extra middle piece where he can grab it. Only Nords have that? What about the two islands left of Hammerfell? The two little islands? These two little ones? Could be. But like, what the heck is there that it requires all three of us to go? All three factions. Could be. And then Yokuda has been sunk long ago. That's where the Red Guards came from when it sunk? Really? So it's gone? A soul scene would be cool. It would be. The weather at the end is kind of a soul scene vibe, right? It's an island of Nern. Well, that's for sure. Nern is the planet. I don't think we're leaving the planet on our sailboats. Yeah. I bet Lucky knows all the answers to the questions from inside sources. Totally. ESO Twitter said to June to tune into ESO 22 Global Reveal on January 27th. Yes, on the 27th is when they'll do the full reveal. Probably on YouTube and Twitch. To get all the answers. But that's, damn, that's like a month away. Does that mean this chapter is going to launch late? Later than normal? Maybe another June launch? Or is it just going to be a slightly later announcement? Same time, May, June? And they said it's going to be a deep dive into the lore of a currently playable race, either Redguard, Breton, Wood Elves. You're betting Redguard and Hammerfell? Seems to make the most sense. Yeah. The Sistis are northwest of Lilundree, where the Malmer attack Sea Keep in Somerset. So you think they were leaving Somerset or heading towards it or heading away from it, or? You're being annoying to my character, are you? Well, thank you. It doesn't scream Wood Elf. No, this doesn't scream Wood Elf at all. I don't see this guy eating any other elves. Doesn't look short and squatty. Doesn't look like a child. I don't even see any Wood Elves in this video, so. Northwest? Heading away from Somerset, northwest? Which would be like Yokuda. Yeah. This looks like DC armor, does it? DC. That would be Hammerfell. Or even the Bretons, possibly. There's not a lot of space left for the Bretons on the map. I mean, you've got this like one little weird thing right here. But that's east of Rothgar even. I don't know, man. Could be this bay. I don't know. It's kind of got the right shape. Sea Elf times. Dragons come from Akavir, yeah. Are you collecting Crimson Oath motif from VDC today? Prices are high. Wait, did Crimson Oath start dropping or something? Or is that old or new? Or where is this? Happy for more political intrigue? It looks epic so far. 3 faction ships selling somewhere, getting capsized. I mean, pretty epic start to a story. And perhaps if Yokuda did sing, it's just the mountain tops and such left above the sea out of the entire continent, hence why it appears to be an island now? Maybe. If Zos advances the timeline, I'd be surprised. What are you referring to? Do Yokudas already sync in ESO or just in single player Elder Scrolls? Does it sync? What era does it sync in? The factions coming together to fight someone on the mainland doesn't make much sense. Seems like this guy didn't just appear. Yeah, that's the thing, huh? It's like all the factions coming together to stomp this guy. What if the alliances are fighting the... No, stop it. Are we analyzing the teaser trailer? We all are. You could have think long ago. I think it was early first era or maybe even late Merethic. Oh, okay. So Yukida is like gone. Can't be Yukida then? Rock the Nightblade to both set up with having some issues with your sustain, fighting pure single targets like a world boss. Is it expected? Yeah, you're gonna have some sustain issues. You're just gonna have to work in a few heavy attacks against a really beefy single target like that. On any build. Just work those heavies in. Going against Sea Vipers. If ESO had the same graphics as the trailer, if any game had those graphics, that would be great. Factions battling over a new island. You think it's factions battling over a new island? It's like a new PvP? But it's weird that all three sync before they even get there. So like everyone's going to conquer this new island at the same time. Maybe there's some crazy resource there. New open world PvP zone? Could be. Azerites? I don't know. New race, new class would be sweet. It would be. A little time travel to tell the story of Yokuda would be interesting. We met a time traveler in Greymore. Dude was literally time traveling. So like the foundation is there if they ever wanted to do it. You wonder if this hints at a new class instead of a new race, especially if Zoss says it's something ESO fans have been waiting for a while. A new class. What would the class be that was hinted in this video? If you were to say, hey, this video is hinting at a class, what class would it be? Maybe a battle mage? A battle mage. I mean, they seem to hint at battle mages being a thing with what it was, a dread seller and the other new dungeon. There's a lot of lore about the battle mage. That would make sense. A berserker, some kind of dude wearing a two-hander, a storm knight. I hope it's not Akavir. Why would you hope it's not? A drunk class. Like a drunk monk? I don't think the class needs to relate to the themes. Warden and Necro didn't either. Were there any clues that the Necro... Yeah, the Necro was very visible in the trailer, wasn't it? Like, it had the guy turn into a bone colossus. Like, it was really obvious that Necro was coming. Warden too. So maybe there's no new class because this wasn't obvious. Like not at all. If it's a new class, they didn't really sell it. Waterbender Sword Singer. You can see his waist at 47 seconds in. What's the hoodie I got on? It's Jujutsu Kaisen. A Stormbender theme seems to be an intersection of a Sorg, a Warden. However, whatever water specifically isn't a skill we can play with, is it? No. A tank Sorg equals battle mage. In a lot of ways, that's true. Elsewhere story was about a lot of necromancers. Abner Tharn is a battle mage. Yes, he is. Well, one of the most powerful. What if the time traveler is the Dwemer and that's where they all went? They didn't disappear. They moved through time. Maybe. Could be. Same with Warden. No new class. If there's a new class at this point, I'll be surprised. Imagine thinking ESO makes new classes. It's got to be a storm night, the sudden weather change, nightly looking bro, walking up the stairs all dramatic. A storm night. It's a cool name. Lines up with the theory that the Dwemer ended up in the 9th era and got wiped out because they were now technology inept. they went from being the strongest to being the weakest. Oops. That's an interesting theory. Think diplomats were sent from each faction to somewhere and the ship sank. You think it was just diplomatic relations? 3 factions coming to fight a Stormcaller that's possibly terrorizing Tamriel is feasible, and then they scrap Cyrodiil in the process. I mean, this could also just be alluding to the trial. You know, this could be just basically the trial for right, the 3 factions getting together to fight some boss. That guy's the boss, some kind of elementalist Stormcaller guy. Cool. The quote makes you think this is a new class. The exact race, type of something is unknown, but what is known is he was not a mare of beast folk, but subspecies of men. If they were to make a new class, I hope it would break the typical MMO archetype. I would hope it would break ESO's typical structure. Who's going to be the NPC that helps us through the chapter? All 5 companions have nearly been used. There's only one left. The Prophet. There's Darian. Darian could help us. You know, we could start the chapter first quest, save Darian. Let us believe that it's PvP related for like 5 minutes. Okay, it could be PvP related. It could be. You know, it's possible. I think it could be an island that is trying to keep invaders away. The trailer could represent attempts by factions to take the island for themselves. And they want to stay independent? Maybe. It's as good as a guess as any at this point. Yagrum Bear Bogarn didn't even defend himself when you killed him and effectively ended your playthrough of TES3 Morrowind. Who? 2022 makes Stam great again. I didn't see a lot of Stam abilities going off of there. I think Stam would have been really scuffed in that situation, you know. Although the boss guy he looked like he was carrying a greatsword, not a staff, so that's good. Is there some form about the chapter? I mean, we're just talking about it. ESO says storm over Tamriel. Wouldn't it be the main island? That's a good point. New PvP map. It's possible. What if he is Darian? Ooh, Darian corrupted by the void.
Whoa.
Dude, that'd be pretty epic. Yeah. The new boat battleground. Darian is in Somerset. Somerset ties into Tseski. I don't know, man. It could happen. Hey, Frost Maiden. Thanks for 3 months. Yagrum was the last living Dwemer on Nirn. You meet him in Morrowind. And you murdered him? Does the city in video look like Imperial? People said it looked like a cross between Imperial and... what was it, Breton? You know, if it's in this region, it's not terribly far from the Imperial, so you can see how there might be some elements of their design there. Corrupted Darian. I'm here for it. Dude, I'd be here for it. When NPCs get actual hybrid builds, but you don't. Malmare territory. It's possible, man. A New World spinoff? I don't know. Justice for Darian. Yeah, justice for Darian. Exactly. That guy with the massive shoulders also kind of looked Imperial to you with that armor style, or is that just you? Did he look Imperial to you? He kind of looks like that low level. Is it low level Breton armor? Breton heavy. Looks like a low level Breton heavy armor. What would I hope for the most? New class, new skill line. Things that are going to massively impact how I play the game on a day-to-day basis over the next year after it's released. Big things, big things. The story behind the zone entertains us for a week. Everything else they add entertains us for a year, you know? So it's the everything else that's the most important. The buildings gave me an Italian Renaissance vibe. It does, huh? Ancient Breton armor was data mined. Ancient Breton armor? Where would an ancient Breton be chilling? The devs are going to try to lure back the people that left for New Worlds? Possible. Very possible. Looks like Breton play with the free pauldrons, which makes me think Nord influence. So like Breton / Nord. So like that's North though. Sadly, the ships were carrying all of the new in-game earnable mounts. Oh, rip, dude. It was a nice thought, you know? Oh, maybe it's exploring the elf part of Breton. Maybe. Maybe. The elf part of the Breton? But that was a while back, I think. When mommy was hooking up with elves. Lots of work for the 3 guys that coming back. There's more than 3 PvPers in ESO. It's like 5. Come on. Is the 2-person mount on one of those ships? Maybe. The island is Greece. This is logical. On ballistas in ESO. Yeah. Maybe. Daedra statues, Greek statues. Molong Ball comes from Greece. It's an adventure to Greece. I mean, there's worse places to visit. Yeah. Yeah. ESO devs don't have to lure New World players back. New World is doing that on their own. True. Though not like ESO did well at launch. Also true. No MMO does. None. What an MMO is in the first year means very little. As history has proven. The ships carry full of crown crates. Oh, enough about the crown crates and the mounts. Enough out of you guys. The 2-person, no, they're never gonna get the 2-man mount working. Maybe. I mean, maybe not. I don't know. It seems like it would be easy, but I guess not. Honestly, ESO is by far your greatest MMO. Yeah. In fact, it's top 5 all games played for you. Nice, man. Isn't New World still top 5 most played games on Steam still? It's still up there. It still has like 100,000 active players every day. It's massive. I mean, it's massive. It's still a massive game. Just not as massive as it was. It's a new shipment respec scroll. Oh, maybe. The half-elf people deserve a better and complex lore. The half-elf people. The Bretons. I want to know if we can fish from a boat from Megalodon. So like it's going to add fishing, boat fishing. Maybe. The ships carry an army of Bakruti. Oh, dude, anything but that. No way, Neverwinter Online. Neverwinter Online isn't in the top 5. It's not in the top 10. I just like living in the Elder Scrolls universe, and that's why you like ESO? Yeah, makes sense. Yeah. The main quest is getting new ship parts to go back to the mainland. Calling it now. So we're stranded on the new island and we got to get ship parts to go back to Tamriel. Maybe the island beneath Admora called Roskria, conquered by Uriel Septim. Breton lore is just elves effed humans. We don't need stories. We need pictures. A picture is worth 1,000 words. An army of new merch. Stop it. You guys are ridiculous. You guys are relentless today. Forgot about fishing ideas. Yeah, forget. What, you don't want more fishing? Like to see different end game that's not 4-man, solo arena, and trial. When you've done them over 6,000 times over 8 years, it's boring. I agree. Dude, I'm with you, man. I am with you. A new type of content would be brilliant. And maybe that's what this is right here. It is the new type of content. We just don't know what that is, right? It's obviously 3 factions working together to take something down, which would make a lot of sense for a new type of PvE content. It doesn't make sense for a new type of PvP content unless, you know, it's just not being shown. But this looks like some kind of maybe new type of PvE content. PvP battleships. Can you show us the inside of the building where the map first is again? Yeah. There you go. There's the inside of the building. One ship. One lone ship. It's interesting that it starts with one lone ship. Actually, because this is a different ship than the 3 that come later. So someone made it there first. Could make sense that we ventured to this new zone and land due to the fact ships being sunk on their way and they need a juiced explorer to investigate. Yeah. Because this is a lone ship going there first. Right? This isn't one of the ones that come later. There's wine. There's a fire. You see a yellow flag? Ooh. What is that? What is this, huh? What is this? What is that? What is that? It's yellow and red, yellow and black. Enhance. I can't enhance with a snipping tool. Let's see here. Hold on one second. Let me do some. I don't know what's gonna be.
Whoa.
See, ESO hopefully
Watch
new
this.
content comes out. JK, I'm still stuck in elsewhere.
Let me do something here real quick. I'm gonna open this. Yeah, we're gonna do something. Let's see what we can find here. Okay. New. Okay. Okay. Let's see. And we brighten this up. You can kind of, it's definitely yellow and like black. I can't make out the symbol though. Can you make this symbol out? Can we go further? It's definitely like yellow and something. Oh no, guys. A dragon pet? Was data leaked? A dragon pet? What was shown for ESO today? Yeah, a teaser, man. A red dragon head. It does look like a dragon, huh? Does anyone does anyone fly a dragon or serpent head? It's the sun, bro. A sea serpent? A statue of RK? Enhance. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's something here. Yeah. Without wings, it's not a dragon. Not even a head? Maybe a serpent? Could be like a serpent, right? The, like this thing. Say, did I get kicked out? Like this serpent right here. See the serpent right here? In the water? Something like that. I don't know if you guys can see that. Interesting, actually. Anything else in here? Anything else? Looks like a moose head. Canadian DLC. Oh, you can see a little more of it right there. It's, yeah. It kind of looks like a person now. Or a serpent head. Yeah. Brighten this whole frame. Yeah. Let's see if we can get soon. Okay. Adjustments. Adjustments. There you go. Looks like a torch, serpent head, a dragon head. I mean, it could be a lot of things at that resolution. I was reading your Solo Stam Nightblade guide, and the vid links to the old guide. Oh, thanks, Fancy. I'll fix that, man. No, it's not intentional. Just a guy struggling. Yeah, it could be. It's a High Rock banner, is it? High Rock banner. I can't find a good image of a High Rock banner that looks like that. Ooh, Lilac Bay. When's this? Iliac Bay. In a new town. I don't see anything exactly like it. The bear on the yellow banner. So does this. Some people are saying it could be the High Isles. Yeah. Imperial Yellow Banner. Zala said it's going to be less end of the world, more political intrigue. Yeah, exactly. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, let's see. Is there any other frame we could brighten a little bit? Okay, so here's the first boat going, right? It looks okay. Remember how we were talking about how it looks like this doesn't look like Redguard. This looks like an island from right here. Look at this. If this was a Redguard Bay, like if they were sailing into here, like we'd see the rest of the landmass, right? Same here. But from here, it looks like they're sailing towards an island. I don't see any other land on the side. What about the flags on the landmass? Ooh, yeah, it's 100% an island. Maybe 2. Table is full of yellow flags somewhere off of Aldmeri Coast. Did you look at the logo on the sword? I didn't see it. Not yet. It's going to be Yakuta. They're sailing from something with yellow flags. So maybe they're leaving Somerset, Orden, right? That's their point of departure. Let's see. These flags you're talking about? These flags? Damn you, Boca. Put them in focus. Yeah, they look a lot like that color, huh? And then this has little blue flags. I don't know if that means anything. Big white sails. These are just like rocks in the water. Here we're sailing into the bay that you could see back here, right? So this is this right here. All right, coming in. The Elder Scrolls Online Black Flag, that'd be cool. Okay, so now this is a separate 3 boats, different ships, right? Is it? Or is this the same first ship? No, it's... Oh, wait. Is this the first ship? 1, 2, 3... Is this the same exact boat as the beginning? Is this that boat? Looks like the same one. Yeah. Okay. So this one's coming. Couldn't those ships be an invader? They appear to be faction ships because the EP one especially. It's got the red banners. It's got the Norse, the longboat. So it looks like the 3 factions. In the first scene, you can see the other boats docked. Oh, you could. Okay, so they just hadn't left yet. This dude can control the weather. It looks like it. Looks like it. So you can see the other boats docked. Oh, there's the longboat. There's the other one. I see. Okay. Good call. Good eye. The sisters could legit work. And then we come in here. Hey, Fancy. Thanks for the prime. Okay, so this has got the yellow flags, right? Yellow, Aldmeri Dominion. Blue, DC. Red sails, EP. Boom. 3 factions coming at him. But this dude's mega strong, right? So either this is a new trial kind of like we sailed to an island for Kind's Aegis. It was on an island. And that was more or less, I think that was more or less what the trailer was for Greymore. No. Yeah. Right? It was them going to the island basically, I think, and dealing with the vampires. Or something. I can't remember now. That was 2 years ago? Shit. Okay, so there's a symbol on his sword you guys are talking about. This looks Norse. Someone said that only the Nords have like an extra grip after the first one. I don't know if it's true. What faction was controlling the weather in the starting zone? Daggerfall. I think the Malmer. That armor is bread and heavy. It looks like bread and heavy. It looks like a Trinamax sword. Bad with styles in a scene. You can see the belt buckle. Is the style the same? I don't know. You can zoom in on part of the sword and enhance. Let's see if we can get a better shot. Ooh. Let's see if I can pause it well. Enhance your image. Oh shit. I was looking at chat. Missed it. Let's go. I think this is as good as we get. I don't see... let's see. Let's try it. Let's see what we get here. Huh? Like this part? Is this what you guys are looking at? Boom. Okay. I don't know what that is. Let's see. If you look at the smaller flags on the ships, they're blue when the transition happens. Yeah, there's blue flags, there's yellow flags, and then there's the red sails. So I think it's the 3 factions. I think it is. You know? Then there's this guy. Watching them come. Waiting. You know? He's got this on his wall. I don't know what that is. The ship's heading diagonal from somewhere. And it looks like an island. We're heading out to an island. The factions. And this guy's waiting. And he's pissed, man. If you headed from Glenumbra in that direction, you'd get to the Etheric Sea. And if we're leaving... Because people saw yellow flags. If we're leaving the Aldmeri Dominion, where would we end up? Like Yokuden? Or would it be one of these smaller islands that's kind of already here? You know, is it this small? Is it this small? You know, is it... I think these are actually... We go here in part of the story, actually. So it's not those. Maybe looks like the Kavach Guard banner. Kavach Guard banner. Let me see if I can find something. Yeah, I see the resemblance. It's not yellow. Oh, dude, I wonder if anybody's going to be able to find this banner somewhere. This banner seems like a good lead. So here's the Gavanch Guard banner. You know, and here's the banner. So that's. Nah. What is the status of Kavach during ESO? That's a good question. Anybody know? Islands next to Glenumbra. Will I be restreaming ESO's channel on the 27th? Yeah. Absolutely. Of course. Dude, I wouldn't miss it. They're having some problems with the assassins. It's Sorman. Let's see. Okay. So, dude, he does this, does his swipe, goes walking up the stairs in his Breton heavy armor. There's the belt buckle. But I don't know if I can connect that to anything. It does look a lot like, look at this. I have an idea. Watch this. Okay. Look at this. This reminds me a lot of... Oh, can I find a higher res image? It's so small, every one of them. It's a little bit different, I think. I was gonna say it looks kind of like, I think because there's a picture of Darian in Bright and Heavy. Let me see. You know, but there's differences, but also similarities. Wonder if we could find here. This is bigger. There's the, oh, so there's the little try symbol. Yeah. Yeah, right there. Does it look kind of similar? It's kind of similar, huh? But different. And then he's got, ooh, are these like more serpents? Oh, dude, he's got serpents on his back. He's got serpents on his back. Look right here. Look at that, actually. Uh-huh. Okay. Yes, 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 yes. Do image. Look at that. There's two serpents. There's two serpents on his back. Yes, this is an image from the, yeah. This is serpents. Sea serpents. Okay, so what is that, dude? So if these are serpents, I bet this is a serpent too. Is this like it's like the Loch Ness monster? Who uses the Malmer, right? So maybe it has to do with like a Malmer thing. Are we assaulting the Malmer? Right? Yeah, like Loch Ness, right? Log. No, looks kind of like this. Looks like this. Here's a really high quality image of a sea serpent. Okay. So it's like this. It's like this. There's the head sticking out of the water. Sea serpent. Head sticking out of the water. Same thing, right? And then we have on the back, you know, sea serpent standing up, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. Totally legit, right? Right? Yeah, you heard it here. The serpent is the 13th constellation existing in Obris. It is no charge of Guardian constellation, does not have a season and seems to be wandering about the sky. It is also formed by the unstars rather than the stars. What does that mean? You live there near Loch Ness. That photo is 100% real. It is. Malmer are elves. This is not elf armor for sure. Are we taking the new rewards into account as well? Such as what? We're going to Scotland? The Agatosh thingies. Okay, how did those affect it all? It's a serpent's head looking at you. Sea serpents are said to have formed from blood of magnificent scaly fish that pleaded it for its life from one of the Aldmer, but was not spared. The sea serpent of Pyantonia have been tamed by the Malmer. Oh, the Malmer tamed it, huh? A race with water skills. The Malmer. So Malmer, new playable race, water-bending monk added to the game. Found a frame you miss. Oh, yeah? Okay. A frame I miss. Okay. What's this? Oh, my God. There's a passenger. There's a passenger on the boat. Guys, oh, my God. He was there all along. How did we miss him? How did we miss him? Oh my God. He's coming back. You heard it here first, guys. You heard it here first. Darian's back, baby. Darian's back. All right. All right. Beardsmith. We need our Darian command back. We need our Darian command back. Our countdown to Darian. I don't know what happened to it. He's coming. I like how he's on an AD ship. It's because Darian gets along with everybody. Okay. He gets along with everybody. He's probably just sharing his bread or something, you know? This is Darian. What did you come back to? We found a frame that I was missing. I was completely overlooking this frame. Darian was there the whole time. Oh, we're in good hands, man. We're in good hands. Yeah. Yeah. It's like the twin serpents from the Order of the Twin Adder from Gridania. FF crossover. Maybe. He was not in the frame. Dude, this is a literal still shot from... This is a literal still shot. This looks Malmer, man. This looks Malmer right here. You got your sea serpents. Man, you got your sea serpents. Malmer have a lot to do with sea serpents. Malmer tames sea serpents. We've got this dude controlling the sea like the Malmer do. He's wearing sea serpents on his armor like Malmer would. Right? Malmer. Let's see. Can we find some images of Malmer? Let me see. Open image in new tab. Here's a Malmer. I think. Okay. And is he a Malmer? I don't know. You know. Open image in new tab. Is this Malmer? Looks pretty different. They look like something out of Waterworld. Whereas this guy looks pretty badass. It's not a serpent, it's just a cool shape on the armor? I don't know. I don't think it's that cool of a shape. Looks pretty distinct and intentionally placed. Hey, what's up, Lizard? Welcome. Welcome to Twitch. Who hasn't been seen since the third era? The Malmer? Malmer, definitely. Dude, Malmer in ESO. Malmer is in the ESO. Yeah. Seaweed. Dude, that's a sea serpent. You can't change my mind. Let's see. Can we find any more images of Malmer online here? Anything interesting? Is this a Malmer? Looks like it. Again, the armor doesn't look anything like what we're looking at. Much more fish oriented. You know, it's got this it's got like a sea person vibe. But it's none of that armor's heavy. This guy's in heavy, so. But he's got fur. Seems like an odd choice for a Malmer. Mm. Malmer are the biggest bunch of a-holes? Not really. Not really. The Malmer aren't so bad. They lived on Somerset, dude, and they got pushed off. And they're pissed about it. You know, anybody would be. And there's a quest. There's a quest where you kind of mend relations and interact with some of the Malmer in Somerset, and you get to know some of them, and they're not all bad, especially. There's like a couple that's in love, man. It's a good quest. You get to know some Malmer, interact with some, attack some, kill some. But, you know, proves they're not all bad. Humanizes them. Is Magplar fun? Yes, absolutely.
God Gamer. He is just playing the meat, don't look at the armor.
Do you mean the
too
keep
much.
quests? Yeah.
That's why he wears heavy. Probably does some PvP on the side too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the high elves don't like the sea elves, yeah. And vice versa. Would it become jam if they sunbathe? Maybe. They are worse than the Altmer? I don't know. I don't know. You heard Magplar is very repetitive? I don't know. Define repetitive. It's not as repetitive as Stamplar. It has almost as many dots as any other class. It just has a better spammable. Can we please check the buildings in the bay? Absolutely. I'd love to. Okay. So here, and then this whole thing wraps up with, this dude is so powerful. He controls the sea. What date do you want to count down to? Let's go June 1st. Let's go June. Wait, hold on. Excuse me. We need it to be a Tuesday. So June 6th, 7th. Go with June 7th. But maybe we get lucky and it comes out on May 31st or something instead. What if the Malmer asks for its rebellion against their god king? The Malmer asks for our help? Maybe. Maybe the Red Guard asked for help with the Malmer? Maybe the Bossmer asked for help with the Malmer. Because we know, right? They said it's going to be about one of the 3 races that they haven't featured yet. March 2nd for the first DLC. Is that 6 weeks after Monday? Slowed playable race. It only makes sense. Maybe the island is a dungeon. The island could be a dungeon. It could be a raid. Like Kind's Aegis was a raid. It was an island. And maybe the big bad in the raid is the Sea Elves? Underwater raid? Why underwater? I'm down. Check out Breton Curus number 3. Okay. Breton Curus number 3. Images. Yeah, this is literally what Darian was wearing in that picture I showed. Yeah. It's kind of what I was showing. Yeah. Looks very similar, right? There's a lot of similarities, but also differences. But you can definitely see something. Didn't they say they would focus on an already playable race? Right, so. But that doesn't mean the big bad would be a playable race necessarily. Unless the big bad is Darian. Why would Darian have serpents on his back, though? Doesn't make sense. Why would he have a serpent banner? Yeah, I don't know. That part doesn't make sense yet. New master. Well, if he's out and about and evil, he definitely wouldn't be affiliated with Meridia anymore because he hates her now. CL banner looks different though. Yeah. Them saying they'll focus on playable race. What if they just make Malmer playable? Oh shit. Dude, that's a really good point, Arrow. Imagine if they did that, man. What if they did that? That would be the biggest debate ever. They say we're focusing on a playable race. And so we're all thinking about the ones that are currently playable. But what if it's one that's playable come the expansion? They add Malmer. It's a pretty big brain idea, dude, actually. It's so big brain, I'm not sure if they would think of it or not. I don't know. But it's a pretty cool concept. Is he corrupted? Our hero is corrupted. Maybe. Maybe. That would be cool. You would love to play one. Yeah. Akatosh has to play into it somehow with the pet and the skin. Akatosh. So if it was Akatosh, where would we be going? Where would we be going? I mean, there's been a lot of things that came out. What, Malmer racials? I mean, Malmer are known as being master sailors, like far and beyond, way better at sailing than anybody else. I don't know how that translates into in-game. They would make him OP so everyone wants to switch. Yeah, probably. What if the armored guy in the trailer is the player character and you're defending the island from invaders? All three factions are attacking. My money is on a new playable race. Would be first new race. It'd be the first new race, yes, unless you count Imperials, which technically weren't base game. New PvP ship battles. I'm not gonna get my hopes up for that. That's pretty outside of any, like, it's nowhere near anything we've done in the game so far. ESO tower defense. Be cool. That'd be cool. A new mode like that would be really interesting, you know? It would be fascinating to have a new mode like that you got to do something we've never done before. Normal PvP lags, ship PvP would blow the servers up. Maybe. New meta mag race also makes sense. Lore-wise, monetization. Wait, did we get to see the whole teaser? Yeah, we can play through it again. Unfortunately, almost half of the teaser is telling you that the full reveals on January 22nd at noon. So if you want to watch that with me, set your alarms, guys. Set your alarms now. We'll be watching that and we'll be covering it in full, in depth, analyzing everything they tell us that day as well, and hyping that general hell out of it. 3 factions sailing towards ZeniMax Studios. Okay, so here's the whole thing. All right. Watch it one more time. With sound. With sound. Okay, with sound. Was I in Vegas for Greymore? No. I was fairly new to ESO at that point. And there it is. That's the whole thing without being paused 100 times. Maybe the music is a sign? Isn't it? It doesn't have hints of the base game original soundtrack in it. That's the original song, right? This one. Huh? Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. Does sound it, yeah. Pretty freaking close, yeah. But the music changes. Oh, right here. The song change. Sounds like the intro to the Morrowind chapter, does it? Quote from Zenimax: across a vast sea awaits 2022's newest adventure. Wait, across a vast sea? So it's an island, which we kind of figured out, right? Because we're going to an island somewhere because of this shot right here. This is definitely an island. Not a bay. It's a bay in an island, which means...
Gamer. Wait, he wears heavy. But
shoot.
no shield, holds a one-handed sword. Still no shield, are they finally putting in one-handed sword class / playable style in the game?
Maybe,
Are
maybe.
they changing the meta?
But it looked...
One-handed sword class, rune blade class PLS.
It looked like a two-hander. That's the only thing. I was looking at that, but it looked like a two-hander that he's picking up. It looked like a two-hander, but it would be cool. One-handed skill line, maybe. We talked about that a little bit earlier. Shoot. I've got so many tabs open, I can't find the one I was looking for. Maybe the whole new content to explore, since the keyword is adventure. It's possible because, well, we get a new massive landmass for sure because, you know, yeah, it's chapter expansion. Yeah, if they don't give us a new class, some weapon variety would be cool. Yeah. There's a hint of Dovahkiin's song in the intro music. Is it? Why don't they finish the map we have now? If they chose not to finish the map we have now, it's because they don't want to run out of room on this continent. Right? They're running out of space. They probably want this game to last more than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years before it's dead, right? So if they want this game to go more than 6 years, they've got to leave Tamriel for a chapter at some point, because it's only got about space for 6 chapters left. And that's kind of generous. So they can either wait until they could just fill it all up right in a row and then leave, or they could start leaving now. Yeah. Yeah. So they could do, you know, we might go south, deal with the sea elves. But it does look like Breton armor, so maybe north. I don't know. This island? No. Greyhome. This the empty spaces, 12 expansions? Look at a map of Nern. What do you want to see? Start leaving Tamriel now so players see a visual representation. Yeah. Be cool. Watch us get land grabs and ship battles. Based on data mining the files, it seems that the new chapter will take place on something called High Isle and islands in Abatian Sea that is controlled by Bretons. It will not focus on Daedra, but rather Breton politics. Ooh. That's a good idea. Yeah. I mean, all of that makes sense. It looks like Breton armor. It's an island. You can see it tied to like sea creatures. And no Daedra, which I'm fine with, dude. I'm fine with that. I'm okay with taking a break from Labyrinth. The DC ship was the biggest. Am I finally going to be a mermaid? I think so, Jesse. I think so. Moving ship houses. You get a ship house. You can sail around. Darian Gautier, handsomest of the handsomest, bravest of the bravest. A close personal friend of Lucky Ghost will return in 5 months one day. True. True and true. What about the Dylan Island at the top of the map above Ribbonspire? Where's High Rock? Breton pirate stormcallers. Yeah. Where's the Abatia Sea, though? Where's High Rock Island? High Rock is Glenumbra? You added something special? Oh. The Darian reveal. Oh. Oh, good. You added... Yes. Oh my God. How did we miss this? How did we miss this? There was account-wide achievements on the boat with Darian. How did we miss both of those things? That's just impressive. I feel like sometimes we're not even paying attention. You know? I sometimes worry. Like, yeah, I found something. Look at Discord. Okay. Ooh. The serpents. Okay. Elder Scrolls fans. Sea serpents. Mm-hmm. There's a sea serpent. Is this an ESO? Did we find a sea serpent in ESO during that ship fight? Yeah. Vaguely remember that. I remember being on the boat that gets on fire. I don't remember the sea serpent. Could be Yokuda. It could be. Boom. This is probably the most promising thing of all, though. You know? Abatia Sea is north of Somerset between it and Hammerfell. Oh, okay. So like here? The ship fight in Grotwood had a sea serpent. Yeah. Green shade? Okay. So in here, this little fog of war area, maybe it's in here. This lights up. Could be these islands here. Do we go here for any reason? Top left of the map? Up here? Those are the chain? Yeah. And this is pretty small for a chapter, right? This boat is Avia. Right here. Mm-hmm. Look at a map of Nern. Map of Nern. Images. Here we go. Let's see. Open up a new tab. Okay, so we have Tamriel. Oh, the Abatian Sea. Look at this. Abatian Sea. Alinor. Right, Somerset. Orden. Tamriel. Pyandonia. Right. This would be cool if we got to go down here at some point. Pyandonia. Aldmeris. Look at that. Yokuda. Agavir. So many cool places we could eventually someday go, but I don't know if we'll be able to. We might be, you know, I don't know if Zos is allowed to go to those other places. They might be on a pretty tight leash from Bethesda. Stay within the Tamriel confines. Maybe in ESO too. Huh? Supposedly Aldmeris is where Altmer are from. Yeah. Yeah. You can click on the ship, yeah, and it opens up the map of the Mages Guild Avia location. The top area of Pyandonia? Like this? This? I don't know. I mean, I would love for it to be down here. I don't know that it will be. Any of these? Maybe. Is everyone sick of elves? Why would I be? You think the storm they're going through is the Maelstrom of Baal? What? There was no storm. The dude made a storm or something. Right? No storm? Dude in storm. No storm, no storm, no storm in the town. And then all of a sudden, dude, he's like, no, screw these guys. Doesn't seem like he made it. It just, a storm just happens to appear at the perfect time and submerge all their ships. Dude, it's possible. Bad luck. The Veil of Mist is an impenetrable wall that separates the island continent of Pyandonia and Aldmeris. If that's the case, how'd they get to Tamriel to begin with? I don't believe that. Looks like a woman. This does? They're very comfortably walking. Looks like a woman because you're a woman. I mean, can we? Does it ever? We don't get a shot of the ass walking, right? So we can't see the hip waddle that women have. And the shoulders are covered with shoulder gear, so we can't see small shoulders. It's pretty tough to tell under this armor from these angles. We can't see the chest for the boob armor. They're walking with a swagger. They do have a swagger in their walk, though. Look at that. Do you see the bounce in the step? Just like zero care in the world, man. Zero care. Look at the bounce in the step. It's like, no, worried. Yeah. These idiots decided to come near me. Yeah. Another half giant like Lyris. Lyris doesn't deserve the title of half giant. She's literally like 5 feet tall. I think he's wearing Breton inspired armor. I think it's going to be a Breton. The Breton Island thing makes the most sense. But you can't have a waist like that. So the antagonist is going to be a female, you think? Maybe. Random question, are you using shirt? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Those look like the Skull Explorer. Maybe. Sea elves, I was thinking maybe sea elves because it's got sea serpents on the back. It's got the sea in the front, right? It seems very sea elfish. But it's got like Breton armor, kind of. And when you look at pictures of sea elves, their armor doesn't look anything like this. Although I don't know if I saw any sea elf with heavy armor on. A sea elf heavy? Let me see if I can find something. No. Yeah, sea elf heavy doesn't look like this. Like you describing the mysterious figure with male author energy? Male author? Dude, you can tell. You don't get a shot of the ass walking, right? So, no, it's true. Women have a different waddle than men. Wider hips. More ass movement. 1000% true. It's a thing. It's a thing. You can tell by the way it is. Yeah, wider hips, legs farther apart, there's more waddle. Yeah. Yeah. Ghost is an ass. Women got those wide ones. It's a thing. It's biology. Maybe non-binary? I don't know, maybe. I mean, it's still going to be born as a man or a woman, though. He's going to have one or the other's hips. It's only a thing if we're wearing heels. Only a thing if we're wearing heels. That's not true. I'm sure they don't appreciate the term waddle. I said a different waddle. I didn't say that men don't have a waddle. I said women have a different waddle. You know? Yeah. A sway, a different sway. There you go. You know? There you go. A sway. Okay, fine. Women have a different sway than the men's sway. Your ex-girlfriend had a nice ass and hips that did not sway or hips at all when she walked. Try to walk without moving your hips. Impossible. Impossible. As a fat man, you definitely waddle. Screenshot confirms all 3 alliance banners. Yeah, so there's all 3 alliances, and EP got scuffed, man. EP got scuffed. New race, new class? Well, if this is a Breton and not a Sea Elf, it doesn't indicate a new race. And then I saw nothing that indicates a new class. All we can see is like the 3 factions aligning to basically cross the sea to an island. Nice gate. Yeah. Yeah. The new class is the Waddler. Why grouping up if not the end of the world? Why group up? Because something doesn't have to be the end of the world. Like, right? Look at real life. Countries ally all the time for situations that aren't necessarily end of the world. But there are definitely, you know, things where, you know, they basically agree that someone else is an a-hole. So they group up to defeat them, right? Politics, which is what it sounds like this is going to be about. They're going to be a new faction, maybe. I don't know. I can't think of a reason why they would add a new faction. It wouldn't make sense, because the whole reason for the tri-faction war is for Cyrodiil. Why would we need a 4th? It wouldn't work in Cyrodiil unless they yeeted Cyrodiil off to the abyss and started something that has 4 factions instead of 2, but I can't, or instead of 3, but I can't think of why they would do that. Yeah, it's not going to be a world-ending event this time, supposedly. It's tired. It's tiring saving the world repeatedly. I don't know. I never had a problem with saving the worlds. There's nothing more epic than that. So I'm excited and curious to see how political intrigue compares. As far as like feeling like you're doing something epic in a year-long story. Imagine on the 27th realizing how much time was wasted today. Dude. Every year we do this. And every year we're like 5% correct. But it makes the reveal that much more fun when you learn all the things you were right about, all the things you were completely wrong about. It's fun. It's fun. It's something fun to do. It beats running Fungal Grotto again. New PvP zone. The 3 alliances try to claim the islands. Island Wars. You did not see a Sway or a Waddle in the NPC's walk. So you're thinking maybe a guy? I don't know. You loved the political environment of Morrowind in the single player title or the group one? It would be funny given the 3 alliances didn't trust you when invading Molag Bal and you had to use the Fighters Guild. But hey, let's get together, all of us. Well, you know, a lot has happened since the 3 alliances didn't trust us. We had to use the Fighters Guild, right? A lot has happened between us and them since then. And they've already worked together once. Yeah. Totally dead being pop-locked every day. Cyrodiil? Oh, Cyrodiil's, yeah, it's dead compared to what it was. Pop-locked because the pop has been reduced so much. Not enough clues of a female NPC, however, doesn't mean a woman. It could be, dude, all I'm saying is I can't tell. It could be a guy, it could be a girl, I can't tell. Just because I can't see any of the things I would normally look at to determine it. The cadence of their walk, their shoulders, their chests. I can't see any of it. So I think it could be either or. The new Twitter. Oh, hold on. Okay, opening it. So this is their new Twitter banner. This kind of leads me to believe there's something PvP oriented going on. Doesn't it? Really, the only time we talk about factions in ESO is PvP. Right? Does it? So maybe some big PvP change coming, some big PvP thing being added, some big PvP something, right? All the banners are tattered and laying on the ground. They are tattered. Throwing aside, maybe they're finally getting rid of Cyrodiil. Maybe they're finally getting rid of Cyrodiil as it exists now. You know, finally. I hope going to Britain's original island and its reverse colonialism, since you associate the Bretons with England? Yeah? On mossy rocks. So they washed up on the shore. Guild Wars instead of Cyrodiil? Right, well, because they need something. They need to replace Cyrodiil with something they can control, something that can perform, something that doesn't lock up and boot people out. Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if they did it. I've been saying they should. I think Cyrodiil is the black eye in the game, and it has been for a long time, right? It's a constant black eye. Everyone's always complaining about performance. They're constantly saying they can't fix it, but they're trying to. I wouldn't be surprised if they scrapped it and replace it with something they could control, something that performed better. Who knows? Yeah. Guild Wars, like in New World? Guild Wars? Like controlled battles? Where people sign up, they schedule a time, everyone shows up and they fight it out. Organized war. It's an interesting thought. That could be cool. Absolutely. All you do is PvP. They won't get rid of Cyrodiil without replacing it with more PvP. I don't think. If they got rid of Cyrodiil, this is a big if, right? This is all speculation anyway. But if they did get rid of it, they'd be replacing it with some other form of PvP that performed better. It would be a net positive for PvPers. It would be a net positive for you if they replaced it. Right? You'd be losing the thing that doesn't work and they'd be replacing it with the thing that does. Ideally. It's a big if, though. If they added competitive 1, 2s, and 3s, I think it would be a boon to the PvP community if they did, yeah. Better gather those sky shards and achievements from Cyrodiil fast then. Yeah. Yeah. They'd have to do something about that. Convert them into something else. The sky shards will still be there. Cyrodiil's not going to go anywhere. It just might become a PvE zone if they did that. You're not a PvP guy? Why does Cyrodiil not work? The engine can't handle it. It's an idea that was too big for this game's engine. Basically. Every MMO struggles with large-scale PvP. And Cyrodiil struggles harder than many. You do think it will be something with PvP? Because even if they don't, there'll be full-scale riots. I mean, yeah, if they don't do something with PvP, all 15 PvPers will get mad. Which I don't know how much they would care about. Given past precedents. But, you know, they might be trying to change that. Who knows? Whoa. It's definitely Pinetonia. The zone layout fits what they showed in the trailer. And the Malmur use storms and sea monsters, and the tactics to destroy enemies at sea also are involved. Trading with Somerset. I love the idea of it being Pyantonia. It'd be cool. But they appear to be wearing Breton armor, but they had Breton armor with a sea serpent on it, which indicates sea elf. I don't know, man. PvP is live, PvP is love. I've literally never seen you PvP before. I see you standing around in Craglorn 12 hours a day, though. I don't think they'll change Cyrodiil, but maybe just a smaller PvP zone type. Maybe add a new type of PvP. Yeah, it's possible Cyrodiil stays the way it is forever. They add something else. Imperial City. Imperial City is dead outside of events. I don't know why. I think it's because if you go in there by yourself, you're just going to end up running into somebody that's in there with 4 other people and you're going to die. And if you're there with 4 other people, you're going to run into somebody with 10 other people and you're going to die. And that's only entertaining for so long. And then rewards are lacking. Can you share your shared variable folders in ESO? I can't get my add-ons to look like yours. I didn't do anything special. I changed like 3 settings. I changed like 3 settings in Bandit UI. Add more rewards in Imperial City. There are no achievements. There's nothing to do.
Whoa.
Yeah.
LGX love, LGX love, LGX love.
Hey, thank you, Jay Lacombe, for the tier 2 for 11 months, dude. Thank you. How's it going, Jay? Add more rewards, Imperial Cities, no achievements. Simple solutions, they are just lazy on that. I don't think it's lazy. I think lazy is the wrong word. It's more to do with if 95% of your player base is interested in one thing, 5% of your player base is interested in another thing. Who do you serve? Who do you make happy? The fact is the PvP audience is a small fraction of the MMO market. And always is. That's why every PvP MMO ends up a PvE game. Yeah. Who do you serve? Saruman. Nice. UI settings. There you go. Bandit UI settings. There you go. Those are the settings I changed. Void pitch. Yeah. So, I don't know. This is weird. This is interesting. The banner seems significant. New PvP thing? Maybe. Maybe. The PvP and ESO could be so good. I agree. I think PvP and ESO is one of the best, most engaging PvP experiences of maybe any MMO I've ever played. It's fast, it's reactive, but it's always self-sabotaging, either by performance or by proc sense. One of the two is always ruining the PvP experience, or if not both. If not both. I don't understand the obsession with proc sets in PvP. Why it has to be such a significant contribution to your build. Like, if you're not wearing the right proc set, you're basically irrelevant. Yeah. Warhammer PvP was good, was it? I never played Warhammer. I love the world of Warhammer, man, but I've just never played a Warhammer game for some reason. I feel like they never get the quality they deserve in their games. Maybe New Zone will open PvP just only there. Opt-in PvP for the New Zone. You flag up like in New World. Run around. It's an interesting idea. Ball groups is what you fear. 0 skill, just immortal. Yeah. The banner change is probably just reference to the political intrigue. Maybe. Battlegrounds is fantastic. Battlegrounds is fun. Yeah, I like Battlegrounds. I would like to see 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, you know? Be fun. I hate the try, like that there's 3 sides to Battlegrounds. I hate that. One team ends up food, the other teams end up feeding on them. The new zone will be all Crown Store area where it only fills up as people buy things. No. Maddie wants bards. A lot of people want bards. A lot of people want bards. I think everybody would be happy with literally the addition of any class at this point. The only thing that I'm bummed about watching this video is I can't see any obvious signs of a new class or a new skill line. And without one of those things, I'm very curious how why this year would be significantly different from the last two. You watched the video and you thought we were going to a Turnum. Dude, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. We're sailing to Betty White's secret hiding place because she's actually not dead. If only. A summoner dedicated job. A class? Well, I feel like he would have summoned something. A Gundam class? Maybe. I don't know. I feel like if there was a new class, dude. I feel like if there was a new class, guys. I hate to be the bearer of really bad news. We would have seen it in this video. A new skill line. Just one little flash of a bard weapon. One flash of a bard skill. One flash of anything that insinuated weather control. I guess we could reach there. You can now turn into a boat. A sailing skill line.
Whoa.
Hey, Dwarek. Thanks for the prime, man. We're going to Eorzea in the biggest crossover ever. The factions unite to take out the Lalafell. That's terrifying. Radiant Apex ships. Ooh, new item in crown crates. A spear and pike weapon, maybe. I didn't see a spear or a pike anywhere in this video, and I feel like that would have been a thing. You know, like this character should have been carrying a spear or pike if that was being added, right? Then everyone would have flipped their fucking minds out, right? We would have been pog champing. We'd still be on Cloud 9. We'd still be on Cloud 9 if we saw a new weapon in this video somewhere. All the way till the 27th. I didn't see it. I didn't see it. So, but what we did see on a more positive note is a beautiful new area that we hopefully get to explore. This place here. I want more of this. I want to see this. So at the very least, we're going to get a really beautiful zone for the story experience, the chapter. Did you notice the character is carrying a single one-handed weapon? Maybe a spell sword? I can't say for sure that was a one-handed weapon. That's a big-ass one-handed weapon. It's practically dragging on the floor. Look, that is a two-hander. That is a two-hander. It's dragging down to the ankles. This is the two-hander I would use, okay? So look at that thing. That's not a one-hander. They're carrying a single two-hander. I think. Unless it's a big-ass one-hander, which, you know, who knows, maybe. Looks like a big-ass two-hander, though. Two-handed for puny humans. Yeah. It's absolute massive. It has to be 200. I think so. I'd be hoping for cross save or progression so I can have my account. Cross save and cross progression will be cool. Yeah. Boats on warboard suggest sea activity. Well, we know at the very least we're going to someplace new. Their Twitter post says they said something about somewhere. I guess they said something about where we have an adventure across the sea. And then it starts with a shot of an island that the three factions are sailing to. Is there a time frame? So the full announcement's on the 27th. New people acting like a war, three factions like peace. Bread and armor there for sure. Those are no serpents. It's like a decoration that's in game. You can see on arm and knee pads as well. It does look, yeah, it looks like bread and armor for sure. Yeah. This. No serpents, you say that's not serpents. Did you open a giveaway? Oh, no, not yet. I didn't actually. We should do that. Go see in game Breton Heavy Armor 3. Yeah, I looked up pictures of it online. Yeah. Finally, your main character, a Breton, getting some love. Yeah. How do I make my action bar show up all the time? Yeah, that's how. Oh, and then go into your settings and tell actions. Go to settings, combat, I think, and then show your skill bars all the time, not just while in combat. So when do we think we can expect it to drop? So the first quarter DLC should drop in about 7 weeks. Early March. The chapter expansion, if I had to guess, I'm guessing right now, June. I'm going to guess June 7th or May 31st. May 31st or June 7th. That's my guess. I don't know. Not soon enough. True. Yeah. June? Yeah. Yeah, that's usually when the chapter expansions come out, is second quarter. May 45th? Possibly. You just bought Blackwood this morning. Probably should have waited for this to drop. Well, you've got 6 months before this comes out. So, you know. What are we watching? We watched the new trailer that came out today. The new trailer. We can watch it one more time for you, Crunch. Here it is. We got a ship. There's Daggerfall ship right there. Blue flags, Daggerfall. Sailing towards an island. It's clearly an island. There's no land on either side. There's a bay and an entire land here that we're going to be encountering, and a gorgeous one at that. Cascading waterfalls everywhere. Now this ship is surrounded by an Aldmeri ship. Yellow flags on the left. EP ship. Red sail. So all three factions aligning for some reason to sail to this new island. This guy's pissed, clearly. He was watching them come. He, she, whoever. Big sword. Breton armor, it looks like. And boom. EP ship just capsized. AD and DC ships not far behind. Their sails are tattered. They're basically running into each other. They're about to go down too. This person didn't even have to try, basically. So, was the weather they're doing? Was the weather a happy coincidence? You know? I don't know. And that's it. That's the whole trailer right there. And that's everything that we can discern from it, basically. We pulled up some footage. So we had the armor here. People are saying these are not sea serpents, simply armor decorations. We had this weapon here. Looks to be a two-hander. That maybe. We had, there was the one, this banner right here. If anyone can identify this banner, this would be big. There's a banner in this room. And this is it closer up, but we don't know what it is.
Whoa.
Hey, Cavius, thanks for the prime, man. Big hentai monster and new trial. Bet, dude, a Kraken? I'd be down. According to the DLC codename, we're getting Sistra's Archipelagio, but since these islands are just 3, Strauss Mackay most likely, we're going to get what's below them, Thras. DLC codename? But aren't the DLC codenames always misleading? Didn't someone say like Greymoor's codename was Dune or something? Dragon God of Time. No problem with the content. Thanks. So we'll see. We'll see, man. I don't know. Do you guys have any ideas? Do you see the signs of a new class, a new skill line in here anywhere? Is it going to be a PvP focused year? Are they adding something instead of a trial? Some group content instead of a trial, maybe? June is this year's code name? Is it? Waterbenders would be cool.